Hello, everyone. We're glad that you attended this training. So, there's a lot of bullet points that you can learn from the book of our business consultant, Tony Ajhar. So, this is the best practice that we're doing in our company, Access Virtual Staffing. So, here you go. Hi, welcome back, Pastor.
Yes, how is everybody? I had a little bit of a computer complication, so thank you for your grace. And we just want to give you, I think she just gave you a little heads up, but we're with Access Virtual Staffing. And what we're here to do is really empower those that come onto our platform. So we're really trying to engage with the community. We're trying to engage with both virtual assistants and we're trying to engage and help and support also the clients that hire them. And so what we do is we do a multitude of different webinars. We send out PDFs, everything and different tools that can help you accomplish your goals and to make you better, not only in life, but in business. And so without further ado, we will get started and we'll just make sure everybody is on. I'm actually on my phone, so it's a little bit new for me. I'm trying to get my computer back on, but I'll go ahead and start sharing. Can everybody see the screen? All right, good. I'm happy to hear that. So this is LinkedIn Unlocked, how to build trust, visibility, and leads. So what we're trying to do is this is to optimize everybody's LinkedIn profiles. Not only to optimize their profiles, but optimize how they utilize LinkedIn. So we're going to try to build trust with what we do. We're going to try to create visibility for maybe clients or anything. So just to gain relationships, which can lead to sales. It can lead to growth. It could lead to growth in a lot of different ways. All right. So number one is your profile is not a resume. We call it the silent sales team. In under 1.2 seconds, people decide whether they're going to scroll or bounce, and your LinkedIn profile is just a professional summary of that. So it's a dynamic conversion funnel, and we have to remember that. Okay, so the silent sales team. We're going to go over a few things to help us optimize. Number one, our profile. Number two, comments, and who do we comment, why do we comment, and how do we comment? And also our DMs, so our direct messaging. And so from your banner to your about section, this works together. We're going to captivate audiences, we're going to build trust, and we're going to guide potential leads towards meaningful engagement. So we have to have our profile in the right way. If not, like I said, within 1.2 seconds, when people check your profile, they're going to make a decision on whether they're going to keep reading and learn more about you or if they're going to move on instead. And so the first thing is you want to make sure that you have a good banner. A digital billboard, use strong language or your niche or your space with the call to action. And we're going to go over some examples. You want a good headline, something that's a scroll stopper, a proven method that clearly states your value and what you're trying to do. And then your about section, which is kind of like a compelling trailer. It's like the trailer of a movie. So you're going to lead with a story that resonates with their pain points or whoever you're trying to get to and communicate with and have a relationship with. So whatever those pain points are that you know your space is in, that's what you want to add into that. So let me give you an example of the banner call to action formula. So if you look right here on the bottom left, it says, helping your audience achieve desired outcome without common pain. So what does that mean? That means you're going to put in helping and then whoever that audience is. So if you're working for, you're trying to gain hoteliers or something, you're saying helping hotels achieve, and then what you do is you insert your desired outcome, achieve 70 to 80% revenue growth without, and then you put their common pain point, without suffering in customer service, without hindering the time of those that you utilize. Whatever that pain point is, that's where you're going to add at the end. A headline formula may be something like, I help, and then you put in the name, I help businesses, I help, restaurants, whatever that is that you're trying to do. I help these type of people get these kind of results. So you want to be specific. We save These types of people, 70 to 80% in revenue cost or net profits, we gain net profit using, and then you tell them this type of method, go high level leveraging or whatever that may be. So that's a good headline formula. And then the about section, which I would say if they get past that, they're going to read your about section, and it has to be very, very clear and very good. So it's not just about a summary, it's an opportunity to build connection and trust through a narrative. So start with a relatable struggle, then pivot to how you provide a unique solution to that. So let me give you an example. Below it says this: a few years ago, I found myself staring at a full calendar in an empty pipeline. I was working 10-hour days, saying yes to everything, and still wondering, why does growth feel like drowning? That's when I realized I didn't need more hustle, I needed leverage. Fast forward to today. I've helped 120 plus business owners systemize their LinkedIn presence using a mix of high trust messaging, daily micro engagements, and train virtual assistants. My clients don't burn out chasing leads, they wake up to them. And whether you're a founder trying to scale without losing your sanity, a sales leader needing consistent conversions, or a coach tired of showing into the void, I build systems that earn attention, build trust, and multiply visibility. So you can look right there at how it's almost like a story, like a trailer of what happened, what was my own tension, this is what was happening, this was what was not working, and then this happened. So we call it cart and storytelling. So what was the context? What was the adversity? Then what was the resolution? And then at the end is what's that takeaway that I found? This is what I took away out of it. And why this approach works. The structure effectively draws your audience in by addressing their pain points directly and establishing your credibility through demonstrated results, leading naturally to an invitation for further agreement. So what it does is you have story hooks. So what they do is they personalize struggle. So it opens the loop, full calendar, empty pipeline. It creates an emotional pain, burnout, overwhelm, visibility, frustration, and all storytelling in business, because that's what you're ultimately creating on your page is a story about you, is you're showing that you can actually relate to what they're going through. You've experienced burnout. Every customer and every client and every business has experienced burnout. We've been overwhelmed. They know what it's like to be overwhelmed. We needed visibility for our company or product, or as a virtual assistant, maybe trying to get a job, we need visibility into those areas. And they can relate to that too. And of course, frustrations. And then resolution, which we kind of hit on earlier, leverage, systems, repeatable results. So you're given these resolutions of what you did to overcome that emotional pain. And then credibility, specific client results in your space or your niche. So 120 plus business owners or 50 business owners, or I've worked for 4 different companies where I help do XYZ to accomplish their goal or their vision. And then you always want a call to action at the end, and a clear call to action, something that's low pressure, human invitation to start a conversation. Make it very relational. That's what you're trying to do, is be relational. And there's a pro tip at the end. Always end your about section again to a clear call to action. So here's an example of that. Could this work for you? Curious if this could work for you. DM me, and then you put in whatever that DM, and let's see what leverage looks like in your business. So just remember, you want to have that banner good. You want to have the good story in your about page. You need a good heading and all those things. And we can also send this out to you too. If you need this PowerPoint, we don't mind sending this out. If you leave your name and email, we also have a certificate for you for those that joined us today after the presentation, and also a free ebook. So, and we'll also send this PowerPoint presentation too, if you like. Okay, now strategic commenting. And of course, but the bottom line is when you're engaging, you have to be strategic in what you're commenting on. So you're looking for people in your actual space, the space that are in your people group. So whatever that may be, if you're trying to reach, business owners or CEOs, that's the people that you want to comment on. If you're trying to reach, so whatever that is, you're trying to find a space. If you're trying to get a job, here's the thing. One of my professors and mentors taught me, if you're trying to get a job, the best way to do that is you're going to connect with people in that space. So you're going to just send a bunch of connections, connect, 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 and then start commenting on this. So if you're looking at financial advising, or you're looking at executive assistants, you're going to get a bunch of executives, right? And you're just going to start commenting on them, and you're going to have strategic commenting. So what you want to do is you want to be, for one, friendly. You want to have some insight. And then what's good for the algorithm is a question at the end. So if you're, say, a VA and you're trying to maybe get on board as an executive assistant or something like that, you would want to kind of have them. You're going to post a comment. This was really nice. I really appreciate how you said this. So you're kind of reiterating what they said to kind of give them affirmation and what they're talking about. And then you would ask a question. So you said that you did this, or you scaled that, or you accomplished this. What was the toughest thing that you had to go through to actually get there? Right. And then put a question mark, because that helps the algorithm. If he answers that question, or she answers that question, that kicks that algorithm up to notice you that much more. Okay. So we want to be strategic. If you're a business person and you're looking for lead gen, it's the same thing. What area or space are you trying to generate leads from? And you're doing the same thing. You're finding those, you're connecting with those areas, and then you're commenting multiple times each day on those people. So what we like to do is we pick out 10 to 15 people, and we just stick with those for like a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And for some, we may have a handful of people that we comment on over and over and over again. So make sure you're engaging thoughtfully, make sure you're being consistent, and make sure you're being strategic. We have this called the 9-minute engagement habit. So these are just small habits that you can create that maximize your reach. It's dedicated, again, just to a few minutes a day. That a simple habit can significantly boost your profile views and lead to meaningful connection without the need for constant content creation. So here's just a simple plan. You can kind of adjust it. It's okay if you go 4 minutes. It's okay if you go 5 minutes. But what this is doing is it's creating a small healthy habit for you to get in a habit of doing, because small habits lead to what? Big results. Always. That small unhealthy habits lead to big unhealthy results. So if we're not doing it in small increments, that means we're not going to do it in big increments. So if we're not doing much for lead gen, we're going to lack in that area. If we're not doing enough for, as a VA, right, to do something to gain more visibility, those small habits are going to lead to unhealthy big results. But if we turn that corner, we apply ourselves and we put just small habits every single day in LinkedIn, they are going to lead to healthy results. So let me give you an example. Find 3 high engagement posts by your Dream 100 targets or influences in your space. A Dream 100 is saying, what's those top 100 people that I want to comment on? Like, what's that group of individuals? Is it a multiple group? Is it a certain space? Is it hotels? And in hotel management, you have like revenue management, you have customer or guest satisfaction, you have housekeeping. There's different areas. And if you're maybe a GM as a hotelier, you're looking at all those different areas. You're creating these spaces so that you can maybe get housekeepers in the future, or you're trying to get maybe a revenue manager in the future. So there's different areas, but you're looking at those top 100 people. Doesn't mean you're going to engage with all 100 in the beginning, but you have a Dream 100, right? You have them all written down, and eventually you'll get to that. And you'll just respond to these high engagement posts. So you're looking at their posts. Again, you're going to respond to it thoughtfully, and make sure that they're thoughtful comments. So 3 minutes, thoughtful comments. You're engaging in their post, which means you're liking it, you're commenting on, but then you're thoughtfully commenting on other things, right? So you're focused on adding genuine insight, asking a relevant question, like we just said, and respectfully challenge an idea. I wouldn't start with that in the beginning, but you do want to eventually do that. Like, hey, what are some obstacles? How'd you overcome that? I noticed with me, this is what happened. What are some of the things that you would do, and challenge them to actually help you out? And what I found on LinkedIn, the majority of the time, if you ask for help, you will get it. There's been people in spaces that I didn't even think I had reached to. I talked to one individual through a DM. Just I was first commenting on his posts, then reached out to him in DM, asked him about some insight that he had. He says, "You want to talk to this guy? He's like the top guy in the industry at this stuff, and he's a friend of mine. This is his name." And so I DM'd that guy, And I asked him, we set up a Zoom call, we talked for quite a while, and he gave me all the information I needed about that. So these people are going to be willing to help you. Maybe not everybody, but what you'll find is people on LinkedIn love engagement and they love relationship. And what I also found is most people don't know how to actually connect. And the next 3 minutes, engage with comments again on other posts. So not just those posts of your Dream 100, not just those posts in your space, but those third degree exposures. So you're going into your connections. You have the first degree, second degree, third degree. Get to the third degree, and then start to expand your reach by building broader connections. So what you're doing is commenting on them, and that also will help the algorithm to give you more visibility. And so, quick win, every comment is a mini billboard. Done right, it pulls profile views, connection requests, and DMs. And I've experienced that, and our team has experienced that firsthand. And make sure it's conversations, not conversions. So, whether you're doing lead gen, whether you're trying to grow in your business or trying to get a job, the reality is everything starts with relationship. It's just like in life, before we give people our money, we want to trust them. Before we buy a new TV, we want to know that that product is good. Sometimes we'll pay a little bit more just to know it's going to last longer. When we don't trust something, we hinder those people being able to sell us, right? Because we're using wisdom and not putting ourselves out there if they're not trustworthy. So make sure that you're having conversations first and not worried about conversions, not worried about how many DMs, but be authentic. You want to be authentic in your relationships. You want to be authentic in building relationships. And sometimes that can be hard. I know culturally, even around the world, some people don't like to do video calls. Some people don't like to share, but just step out a little bit, right? Again, small habits lead to big results. So most DMs scream pitch, right? So usually we'll send a DM out. I've seen this a million times, and literally even our COO, who's I don't think he's on here right now, he may be, but he'll even say, "Man, I didn't like that pitch," right? Because it doesn't reflect who we are, and we're relational first. We actually care for our clients. We care for our VAs. We do want success for sure, but we believe that the foundation is relational. If that relation aspect is solid, we know all the other things are going to come about because it's sincere, right? And then people are going to gain trust. We're going to gain trust for them and then for us. So your message is to whisper curiosity. They should spark human connection. Let it be authentic again. And the goal is to initiate genuine conversations that naturally lead to deeper engagement, not to hard sell them in the future, but to really build a relationship that will lead to a general sale, and not just one sale, but something that's reciprocal, something that is ongoing, right? So the retention is there, but those are the things that we want to do. So number one, you want to connect. So you're going to send out a DM. You're going to make it relational. Just hey, one of the best ways to do this that I found, and we're still doing some trial and error just to see. But what I found is this: the people that I post on, or I see a good post, I'll put that in the DM and say, hey, I noticed your post on Tesla. If you're doing something on Tesla, maybe they had a good idea, or they saw something that had to do with maybe AI or the advancement of it, or how to utilize it without it taking over, but you're leveraging it. And so what I'll say is I loved your post about artificial intelligence when you said, and then say what they said, so it shows you paid attention. Let me ask you a question. When you said that, and then just ask a question that's true, that's authentic, and that's relational, that you actually may have a question about, maybe in that area or that space. And let me tell you, people that post something, it's because they usually have a heart for that post. Something, and they may not even be great at it. May not be a master at it, and have it down. But what they do is they put in hard work. They've learned a little bit about it, and they've done enough to actually post and try to help you, the viewer, understand that. So if that's the case, let me tell you, they're going to want to engage. They're going to want to say, oh, this is what I found by doing this. Again, compliment them. Hey, I loved what you wrote. And then curiosity, just an open-ended question. Again, just giving them those questions so they can answer those for you. And then something to continue the conversation. So again, avoid pitching on the first message, focus on building the rapport and understanding also their needs. So we can, ask them, sometimes you can say, what's the number one thing that you have maybe scaling utilizing AI? What's something that found to be a hindrance when using AI or not using AI, and go from there. And again, the Dream 100, and it doesn't have to be a Dream 100. It can literally be, start with small, Dream 25. What's the 25 people or the 25 people in that space that you're trying to connect with on a deeper level relationally, for whether it's a job that you're looking for or whether it's a sale and lead gen, which ultimately leads to revenue and net profit. But whatever that is, start small, okay? Focus on building that circle of trust with those most influential people in that circle, okay, or niche. So those who can buy, then maybe they can refer to you or open significant doors for you. Again, whether that's trying to get a position or whether that's trying to do lead gen and build a healthy relationship for business to business or whatever that may be. And so this will amplify your impact. So remember, first thing you want to do, you want to identify the dream 20. If you're just starting out, or the dream 10 or the dream 50, whatever that is, that you know your own capacity, start there, start small, and then build from there. But pinpoint those dream 20 or 50 or 100 individuals who are your ideal clients, key influencers, potential collaborators. So make sure you do that first. If you don't identify the target, I had somebody say this, it's like a dartboard. If you don't put a vision out there, if you don't put a target out there, then when you throw, for your goal you're trying to reach, you're going to miss everything. But if you put a target, you put that dartboard up there, even if you miss, you're going to land somewhere in the area. So make sure you're doing that first, is to identify. The next thing is to step out and then engage of who you've identified with. So engage with them weekly, comment on their posts, do thoughtful DMs, tag them in relevant discussions. Even if they don't know you, tag them, because maybe you, and don't do this right away, but as you've been commenting, they're seeing your name every day. They're seeing that you're asking them questions. Maybe you've already had some DMs and they've sent back. And now you make a post and you're like, I would love their insight. And you tag them in it. And then maybe they can comment on it. And then the last thing is, track it. So we use a spreadsheet. If you guys would like, let us know just in the chat that you would like the spreadsheet. But what we do is we track who we're commenting on. And then we also have a link to their page where it makes it easier the next day to get right to their front page if they posted something. So we'll have an all post link. Maybe we'll have a link to some other aspect of their profile page. So we add our connections, how many connections we have yesterday, how many connections do we add today, who did I comment on? I have one that says, what DM did I use? So I'll use the same one every week, right? Or for every day during a week. See what happened. Just see what that looks like. If there's 100 or 200 DMs, how did they respond? If I need to adjust, I do another DM and I say, okay, was this one better? And you start to kind of do trial and error, but you want to track it, because if you don't track it, then you're either going to forget or you're not going to know at all. One of the biggest businesses, in the world is data analysis, right? Pays high dollar. And it's because they're looking at these things. They're looking at spreadsheets. They're analyzing the information and the data, and they're coming up with critical thinking, right? They're using critical thinking to come up with solutions to their pain points, solutions to their goals and their visions. So make sure you're tracking it. And again, you could create your own customizable spreadsheet, but we're also more than happy to get you some. Just make sure you put your email on the bottom and your name. Okay, you want to do this also for the certificate and the ebook. And again, I'll give you this PowerPoint presentation as well. So key takeaways today is unlock your LinkedIn potential. Building a powerful LinkedIn presence doesn't have to be overwhelming. By implementing these strategies, again, optimizing your profile, engaging strategically, and initiating genuine conversations and focusing on those dream individuals, you can build trust, multiply visibility, and generate consistent leads. So remember, this is key. Profile optimization. You have to have your profile down. That is like number one. Again, within 1.2 seconds, they've done multiple researches on this. That person will know to look past that headline and go into your about page and stay and actually look at your posts and things like that. But they'll know that in 1.2 seconds. So you want to have a good banner, you want to have that good headline, you want to have that good about page. So remember that. And then strategic commenting. You have to be strategic in your commenting. This is going to gain you visibility. This is going to affect the algorithm. This is going to give authority without constant posting. So it's going to give you that authority to kind of say, hey, I'm kind of in this space also. and I'm giving something back to the space. And then other people see it. I get still DMs today that people are like, oh, I love what you posted or commented on that post. Right. And I'm like, wow, this really does work. And it does. So again, human centric DMs. What does that mean? It means be relational, be authentic. Okay. I mean, I would say already, if you're here on this webinar, that means you're already trying to improve, right? You're already trying to grow. You already have that relational piece to you because you're trying to grow in either your position as a worker or an employee, or you're trying to grow as a business leader, right? That's trying to grow for your people, maybe those that you employ, maybe those that you lead, and ultimately your guests or your customers or your clients. So you're already relational. So now what we're doing is we're taking what we already have and we're just kind of multiplying that into this platform, which is LinkedIn. So again, foster genuine connections and not about conversions and it's not about sales, right? Those things will come. At the end of the day, yes, it is about revenue, right? Just like any investor will ever tell you. But to get to that part, you got to be relational, and you have to build trust. People have to trust you because even if you're good enough to get a sale, and I used to be this way, I was good enough to get a sale, and I didn't have the relational piece. You are not going to have any retention, right? So you want to truly get people to commit to you because you've built an authentic relationship and they're going to keep coming back to you because they know that you do right, that you know that they're surrounded by great team members or that you lead right, manage right, maybe you're a founder, whatever that is, or you're an employee that helps people accomplish that goal. And again, the dream 20, 100, 50, whatever number you want to put there, even if you start with five people in a space that you're trying to get involved with and just start commenting on them. So whatever those are, and focus your efforts on those relationships. And remember, if this feels like a lot to manage, just don't worry. Remember, this you have to start small. If you just start small, small steps lead to big results, right? So small healthy steps lead to big healthy results. Okay. And if you need any other information, go to our website, www.accessvirtualstaffing.com. We would love to help you out. If you ever need, just get a hold of us, even on LinkedIn. You can see David Rush, he's our COO. You can look for me, Robert Ajhar. I'm also on there. Send me a DM. Any help that you need that we can help and come alongside you to equip you, empower you, encourage you, we are there for you. All right. I'm just going to look in the chat. If there's any questions that you may have, feel free to definitely ask a question.
Yeah, or if you have any insights about LinkedIn or any have ideas, we have here Anne. Thank you so much, Coach, for attending this seminar.
Yes, we will definitely get that spreadsheet to you on.
Yeah, Coach Anne has a question. I have very small followers. Is there any way to make this process more efficient? Are you using pro account on LinkedIn or a free one?
No, the free one. I tried the pro, but I don't think that it can get to the clients that I want. So my ideal clients are entrepreneur who seeking for fulfillment. But the pro LinkedIn usually have those senior in there where it allow me to look for entrepreneur at big company or how many employees underneath or the size of the company is not necessarily allow me to look for the people who feel unfulfilled in their business. So how can I look it up more efficiently or more target using Pro LinkedIn?
Yeah, would you like to answer that, Pastor Tony?
Yes. So I kind of agree with you on. I mean, for me, the juice isn't worth the squeeze when it comes to the pro platform. At least for me now, what I've seen, even when I had the premium version, is you're not gonna you can get just as much out of the free version than you can the premium version. Now, I am also for the premium version. Dependent on it, I would say it's more relevant for people trying to get jobs. Lead generation, you have to get into that sales navigator area, which can be costly. It definitely has to be in the company's budget to really get the extra benefits out of that. But what I found is the regular premium versus the free. The free is the way to go, and I would just kind of work the system like that. Utilize the things that we said today. Utilize the spreadsheet. Make sure you're commenting on it. And I know you do already on those comments, but not only in the message groups, but on other groups of a space that you're trying to get yourself involved in. So find other groups to get into, comment in that group, comment on the posts in that group, right? So maybe share an article also or post yourself. So find again that dream 20, that dream 30, just pick that, because what you're trying to do is pick up the algorithm. And the algorithm basically is kind of like all the spaces when it comes to social media, but it's really, really important in LinkedIn. And what LinkedIn wants is people to stay on LinkedIn. They love people staying on LinkedIn. So if you can get people to stay on LinkedIn, then the LinkedIn algorithm keeps you going, right? They're going to give you more visibility. And what I mean by that is if you see a post and you comment on that post and then you ask a question at the end, how do you help with that? And they answer you back, that's keeping people on there. There's also, just for a key insight, I believe it's the strongest times to post on LinkedIn is between, I think, the hours of like 7:30 a.m. to like 8:30 or 9 a.m. So if you're posting, and that's Eastern time, by the way. So if you're posting during that time, I think the other one is between 5:30 and 6:30 when people have just got home, they open up their laptops and they're checking emails and they go on LinkedIn. So those two things, the LinkedIn people that I've talked to say that those are the key areas, because what's going to happen is people sit down, they open their morning areas. If they're commenting, they're posting, and then they go to work and they don't go back on. So if you have a high visibility and high time, that's also going to build your visibility up, and it's going to drive people to your page.
I agree. And based on my experience as well, to be able to add some followers or connection in LinkedIn, if we're using, because I'm just using free account, um we can add at least 10% per week to our ideal avatar, and you can also join to business group or your ideal group. Like for example, your target market is a business owner, or you want to be an author or speaker to some of the areas, or event on that specific areas, then you can join there, because there is groups also in LinkedIn that we can add or join. Then there's a lot of members there. Then when you post something related to what you offer or what you promote, then if they comment, then you can add them.
And one thing I wanted to add too, just for On, she asked, I have a very small followers. Is there any way to make this process more efficient? One of the ways is to utilize those small followers. So what you could do, since you're already doing master classes, I saw on the bottom, is do something where you're giving them something for free. So the people that are already a part of your group, whoever they are, say, hey, if you bring somebody, do a master class with that group, and say every person that you bring on there, if you refer somebody, I have a free ebook or strategy book or whatever that may be. And in the future, we're actually thinking about teaching people how to write books for their company. So if that's something that you're interested in too, put your email down, say interested in book creation. I've wrote multiple books. Wrote one recently on this topic. It's called LinkedIn Unlocked by David Rush and myself. And so that's out there on Amazon. But we're actually thinking about doing seminars and master classes on actually how to create books. So a lot of people have the thoughts of what they're trying to do in their mind already. They know what they want to create. They know who they want to reach, and they just don't know how to put it on paper. They don't really know the aspects of how to get it on Amazon and kind of how to kind of engage with people that way. So if you need help with that, we will probably do some kind of master class eventually on that. But yeah, so you want to do that. And then if they refer people, then you're giving them that gift to show, hey, you've been loyal to me and we're going to be loyal to you and reciprocate that. So hopefully that helps you out in some ways. And Don, right? Hi, most of here are students, the future entrepreneurs. That's right, you are. How they can start or introduce themselves with their products and services using the free or basic version, or using premium version despite of low followers. So the first thing you want to do is you want to write out again a vision, right? You want to identify who your market is. If you're a new entrepreneur and you have whatever it is that you sell, whatever it is that's going to help people, with their sales, because that's what sales is all about. Whether you're selling a car, it's because people need to drive. If you're selling the ability to handle revenue management with the computer software, it's because hotels need revenue management done, right? They got to know what's the right cost, when not to, sell out your hotel, because you can lose money by having every room sold out, because that's more water, more TVs on, more housekeeping. And so maybe whatever it is that you're doing and whatever you can do in that aspect of business, find out what that is. And I always say you want to write out a business plan, right? Even if you're new at it, something simple that you can say, this is the vision, this is what I have, this is what pain points are in that space, this is how I help those people overcome it. If you've helped even one person, even a friend, because you're just starting out, then you let them know, hey, help one friend. My friend Jim saved 70 to 80% on XYZ by the solution that I gave them. Okay. So you start small, you're an early entrepreneur, but you got to have a vision. Make sure you put that vision out there, and that'll help you whether you're on the free version or any other version. And then start writing articles, write posts, whatever that is that you do. Get people engaged on your posts. Go in those groups, that space in that area, and start to post those things as well. I hope that helped you out. Is there any other questions that anybody has?
I agree with that. Once you have the goal, your brand or your target business and then the target market, you can include that to the about section, and then start promoting. At least do twice a week a post related to what you offer, and then or if you can post daily, that would be a great a help. Do you have question, Lillian? By the
Hi,
way,
hello.
hi. Lillian is always active here in seminars, so we really appreciate you, Lillian. Yeah, you can ask your question.
Oh, thank you, Angelica, and hi, everyone. So mine is
Hello.
actually a comment and something I have learned since I started joining the seminars. How you communicate, how you write your message, it should be very authentic. I've actually seen a great change on my profile since I started now making constant comments, posting constantly in line with what my career path. But now, what I would just say is make sure that whatever that you, even if you're a student, talk about what you're learning. Talk about what you're doing. Let the people that your target audience just get to understand who you are, get to understand what you're looking for. You can even be a storyteller. You can tell a story based on your experience. That way, people will, you will build a relationship. As Tony has said, it all starts with building a relationship, just making sure that you are present and you're very, very authentic. But my question is, I have found that most of my posts will get a lot of reactions, probably not comments, but I will always get reactions. How do I get to work with these reactions, and what are these reactions exactly? I have never understood what these reactions are. Maybe Tony, you could help.
Can you clarify your question one more time, Lillian? I'm sorry.
I always get when I send a post, I always get reaction. Like I will get your post has already gotten 101 reaction, but I'm not able. I'll not be able to know the reaction because the persons that reacted didn't comment or didn't leave any message for me. So what are these reactions?
Yeah, so those are actually impressions. So a reaction would be if they actually commented on it.
Oh yeah, impression.
If they liked the post. But impression is like this. You have somebody, they look at it, and maybe somehow the algorithm puts your post somewhere else in that network, right? And somebody else was scrolling and they looked at it and they clicked like more. So you wrote the whole article and then they clicked more, they read it, but they kept scrolling. That's an impression. So they actually looked at it, but maybe they're just people that don't, hit the like button, but they may have liked it. Maybe they don't have time to comment it, but they're like those, what we call doom scrollers, right? And Facebook and social media and TikTok, they'll scroll, look at an article, scroll, look at a video, scroll, and they just keep going and going. And those are considered impressions. So you may have 200 impressions, which is a good thing because that helps the algorithm, but you may not have actually people that clicked on it or comment on it, which is normal. So that's okay. You're actually doing a good job if you're getting a lot of impressions, because that means the algorithm is actually working for you, and it's only going to grow from there. So what I always do is if you're lacking in likes and comments, just kind of write, hey, I appreciate your likes and I appreciate all comments that you may have. I'm always trying to learn, so even if you post an article, just say, I would love to get your guys' insights on what you've experienced when doing what I did or something like that, right? Because now what you're doing is you're asking people to do it. And a lot of people will want to say, hey, this is what I tried or this is what I did. And you may not get a lot, but even that simple one person that comments because you asked them about a question about your post, that helps that algorithm out too as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Do we have any more questions, Angelica? Yes.
Yeah.
Dawn?
Go ahead.
Okay, as LinkedIn is available around the world, or there's still areas not available for this platform, just like Miss Angelica said to me last night, LinkedIn is just like Facebook, but LinkedIn is just business to business. Is there potential to connect me or the business around the whole world? So I'll give you one idea. It works, I know, better in the YouTube space and also Instagram space. It could be the same in LinkedIn. I haven't looked too much into the research on it, but what they do is whenever you're doing any posts, whether that's YouTube, they always say if you're an American, highlight or put a hashtag, Kenya, hashtag Philippines, hashtag Thailand, hashtag any busy areas, Mexico City, right? These high areas of people, right? And the reason they say to do that is because it's one thing to try to get people in your own country. It's going to be a lot difficult, right? People know what they like, they go on there, but they say people from other countries, as long as there's not a language barrier, right? But if there's the same language, like my wife's Ugandan, speaks perfect English, right? If you're putting it out in these areas, those people are going to look and say, oh, a Filipino, and they're giving me this, and wow, that was awesome. And then they subscribe or they connect, and you get high connections that way. YouTube use this. Most of them, whether it's Mr. Beast or any of these other people, this is how they started. They actually hit these other places around the country. They built up so many subscribers doing it that way in different comments that it actually flooded the American market. And so a lot of these popular American YouTube channels and Instagram channels utilize that to actually gain a lot of subscribers and their growth. So I can't tell you for certain because I haven't done the research on it, but I would assume that there is some truth to doing that in LinkedIn also. Don't just connect with people in your country. Make sure you are connecting with those around the world. And to answer your question, if LinkedIn's everywhere, I wouldn't assume it's everywhere, but it is everywhere where you could probably use a phone. And so you're going to find most areas do have LinkedIn. Again, I'm in Africa right now. We have LinkedIn. A lot of you here is in the Philippines. You have LinkedIn. So it is going to be a common thing throughout the world. And any place that doesn't have it, I'm sure they'll have it here in the near future. We'll be wrapping up in just a few minutes. If there's any last questions that anybody would like to ask, feel free to ask me now. Write it in the post. We do appreciate you again. Our website's www.accessvirtualstaffing.com. We're building a platform where clients can go on there and hire virtual assistants. We have a platform that is like Jobs PH to be able to put the VAs on there, put all their information on there so we can find clients for them. And so definitely check that out. And we'll have Angelica put the website addresses below for both of those.
I think Dawn has another question,
Okay.
Tony.
Aside from this wonderful seminar, is there any activity available for us to be able to practice this platform? Just clarify that real quick, Don. Or you could just unmute yourself and I'll hear you. Okay. Online tutorial. Not right now. We don't have an online tutorial, but anytime you want, what I'll do, just add me on to LinkedIn. Robert Ajhar, I don't know if she already put it in the chat, but if you click on it, just connect with me And I don't mind ever helping somebody out as long as I have time to do it. I don't mind taking 20 minutes or even a half-hour session with somebody or even a group to do that with. We're here to empower you and equip you. And again, whether that's clients, whether that's VAs, we're here for you. So if there's anything I can do and I have the free time to do it, and I will definitely try to make time. I would love to be able to work with you, kind of walk through my setup process. I'll show you step by step what I do each day and kind of go through it. That way you can see how I do the spreadsheet, what I comment, what I added on my banner, what I added on my about page, why I put those things there, kind of utilizing those tools, making it like a trailer, using it so people see that it's eye catching. I wrote some books, so those books are right there for people to see. I'm an author also. And so certain things like that, and I don't mind helping you. So if I'll look at yours too, and if you need some help to kind of put it all together, I don't mind doing that. I can show you some tips and say this is what I would change on here, and that goes for anybody on here. So again, Robert Ajhar, David Rush is our COO. He's the one that makes this all happen. So he empowers us. We have a great leader, and we couldn't do these things without him. So he's the same way. If you want to message him and he can get to me or any of us, we'll be more than happy to help you out. Hope that answered your question. And don't worry
Yes.
about being shy. I'm a complete extrovert. I love people and I love to serve. And so you just come on, even if you turn your video off, and you just ask me questions through chat, I will do this. So I'll meet you where you're at in the hopes that you'll get more comfortable and then you won't be as shy because we also do communication classes, public speaking courses. I can help you with that as well. So it's okay to own that you're shy, but always remember, have a vision that you're going to grow into that as well. All right, guys, this is going to be the last chance. We're wrapping up in 3 minutes. So just drop your name, drop your email address for your certificate. You get a certificate for going through this today, the resources, the ebook, and we'll send you a fixed version of the actual, not only the webinar, but we'll actually send you the PowerPoint presentation. That way you can read it over again, because I know it was a little sloppy because I ended up having to do it on my phone. So the phone, the way it formatted didn't kind of work out right, but I'll send you the clean version of that as well for you. But make sure you do that soon. Add your name, add your email, because we'll be coming off in about 3 minutes. If you have any other questions, just ask me. Again, we're Access Virtual Staffing. We're here for you. If you're a client and you're needing virtual assistance, reach out to David, me, Princess, wherever we're at. We will get you the best of the best. We equip a lot of companies with the highest level of VAs around. And we also empower and equip the VAs to be put into wonderful clients that we have.
I agree. Can I have a question? This is for the
Yes.
participant. Like, what encouraged you to attend this webinar? Can I ask that to Luisa? Hi, Luisa.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi. May I ask, where did you see this post or someone encouraged you to attend this webinar? Do you have business or you're offering something?
Yeah, so just write, even if you want to write it, just one thing of what made you want to join the webinar. And if there's any webinars that you would like to see in the future, let us know.
Our professor, Sir Don Gary Florendo, asked uh, asked us to listen to this webinar. And I've learned so much.
And we're so happy to hear that.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for everyone who jumped in. And please drop your name and email so I can send the certificate and other resources like the spreadsheets and ebook that we prepare for you. And if you have guys any questions, just message me or email me. And you can visit our website. Again, it's www.accessvirtualstaffing.com. And I pin here or share here the site wherein you can upload your resume and some of the videos that we really need in recruitment. So we have clients that is looking for a virtual assistant, or if you have skills in Amazon or Go High Level or anything that can help our clients, that would be a big great help.
Yeah.
So thank you so
We are
much.
looking for people. We're also looking for somebody that wants to do calls, not necessarily sales calls, but somebody that's good with communication. We can go over that. We're looking for that. We're looking for, again, executive assistants. So there's a lot of job openings that we have. So definitely put in your information, put your resume in for the Podio link that you put in the chat. And that way we can get a hold of you and get you plugged into a nice company.
Yes, exactly. Do you have something to say, Princess?
Well, right now we're asking for your participation as well. If you'd like any other topics aside from LinkedIn, you can drop that in the comment section so that we can, you know, discuss that on the next meeting or next seminar.
Well, I'm going to drop the link to the book too. So if anybody wants to get more in depth with it, to actually learn what we do, let me just see the price, because I'll change the price for everybody here. So it's $2.99 American. And what I will do is I will change, I'm going to put the link here. So make sure you guys grab that link. So that's the book, LinkedIn Unlocked. It goes into high detail about profile pages. It goes into, it's very clear, it's very easy to understand. Who you comment on, what you comment on, has multitude of examples. So if you click that Amazon link, and I know it can be difficult sometimes in different countries. So if you just type in Robert Ajhar and then LinkedIn Unlocked, or Robert Ajhar, David Rush, LinkedIn Unlocked, that book is there. And what I'll do is after we get off this webinar, I'll go into the KDP, which is how you upload Kindle books and stuff. And I'm going to change the price to 99 cents US. So I'm going to make it as low as possible so that way everybody can afford it. And I'll leave it at that price for like a week or two, and then I will raise it back up. But that way, anybody that's been on this webinar, they can know to go to there, get that book, and that goes into great detail. And for anybody that truly can't afford it, just reach out to me.
Yeah,
All
thank
right,
you
guys.
so much, guys. If we can have a picture, that would be a great help. Can we open our camera?
Yes, let's put all of our cameras up.
Hi students, camera on please. Hi sir, Tony. I
Yes.
can look forward to another webinar like this. I have some other students that like to have this kind of wonderful webinar.
Oh, that's great. We would love to have them. So definitely let your friends, your team, the people that you pour into, let them know about us, and we'll be glad to help them. And you don't seem so shy, so that was great talking to me. I look forward to talking to you more in the future. Connect with me on LinkedIn. I'd love to connect with you. All right, guys, you have a wonderful day. Thanks again for coming. We appreciate you.
Thank you, everyone.